The aftermath of World War II saw Europe carved up by the victorious Allied powers. From the ashes of Nazi Germany arose two nations: the Federal Republic of Germany, or West Germany, and the German Democratic Republic, known as East Germany. Officially, East Germany was founded on October 7, 1949. This event solidified the division of Europe into two ideologically opposed blocs. East Germany, under the firm control of the Socialist Unity Party and backed by the Soviet Union, became a key component of the Eastern Bloc. East Germany's geographical location was strategically important. It served as a buffer zone between the Soviet Union and Western Europe. This made East Germany a frontline state in the escalating Cold War. The country was rapidly integrated into the Soviet economic and military system. It also adopted a socialist command economy, nationalizing industries and collectivizing agriculture. The early years of the Cold War were marked by suspicion and tension. Nowhere was this more evident than in Berlin. Berlin, though located deep within East Germany, was also divided by the Allied powers. The Berlin blockade, which lasted from June 1948 to May 1949, was the first major crisis of the Cold War. The Soviet Union, in an attempt to force the Western powers out of West Berlin, blocked all land and water access to the city. The response of the United States and its allies was swift and decisive. They launched the Berlin Airlift, a massive humanitarian operation. For nearly a year, planes landed around the clock in West Berlin, delivering food, fuel, and other essential supplies. The Berlin Airlift was a logistical and symbolic triumph for the West. It demonstrated the resolve of the Western powers to resist Soviet expansionism. Perhaps the most enduring symbol of the Cold War, the Berlin Wall, was erected literally overnight. On August 13, 1961, East German authorities began constructing a barbed wire barrier that would eventually become the concrete edifice that divided Berlin for almost 3 decades. The official reason given for the wall's construction was to prevent fascist elements from undermining the East German state. However, the real reason was much simpler: to stem the tide of people fleeing East Germany for the West. The construction of the Berlin Wall had a profound impact on both sides. For those in the West, it served as a stark reminder of the Cold War's human cost. For those trapped behind it in the East, it represented a loss of freedom and the brutal suppression of their aspirations for a better life. Section 4. The Long Shadow of the Stasi, East Germany's secret police. No discussion of East Germany would be complete without mentioning the Stasi, the country's notorious secret police. The Stasi, officially known as the Ministry for State Security, was one of the most pervasive and repressive intelligence agencies in the world. It infiltrated every aspect of East German society, employing a vast network of informants and collaborators to monitor and control the population. The Stasi's reach was extensive. They targeted anyone deemed a threat to the state, including intellectuals, artists, and ordinary citizens suspected of dissent. The Stasi's methods were often brutal, employing psychological torture, imprisonment, and intimidation to silence opposition. The Stasi's legacy continues to haunt a unified Germany today. Millions of pages of Stasi files were discovered after the fall of the Berlin Wall, revealing the extent of the surveillance and repression. The psychological scars of living in a society where trust was a luxury remain for many former East Germans. As the 1980s progressed, East Germany began to experience growing unrest and economic stagnation. The rigid, centrally planned economy struggled to keep pace with the more dynamic economies of the West. Shortages of basic goods became common, and the quality of life for many East Germans deteriorated. This economic stagnation was compounded by a lack of political freedoms and growing awareness of the prosperity in West Germany, thanks to Western media. People began to demand change and protests became more frequent, setting the stage for a dramatic shift in the country's future. The fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989 marked the beginning of the end for East Germany, but its legacy continues to shape Germany today. The process of reunification was complex, and often fraught with challenges as the two very different societies merged. The economic disparities between the former East and West Germany persist, and the psychological impact of decades of surveillance and repression lingers. Yet the story of East Germany also serves as a powerful reminder of the resilience of the human spirit and the enduring desire for freedom. The lessons learned from this chapter in history continue to inform discussions on governance, human rights, and the importance of democracy.